It's appointed unto man once to die. Everybody's going to have their moment of death. But it don't end with death. After this, there's going to be a judgment day. There's going to be a judgment day. Everyone will have their day in court. Their moment in court. It's appointed. You may break a dentist's appointment, a doctor's appointment. You may make and break an appointment with some type of interview. But there is an appointment before the great white throne judgment that every man, every woman, every boy and girl will keep, atheist or believer, saved or unsaved. There is an appointment with death. And that's really what life is about, is preparing for eternity. Getting ready for eternity. It's appointed. James, the 5th chapter and the 20th verse. Let us know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death and shall hide a multitude of sins. And let us know he that shall save a sinner from the error of his ways. Oh, is there some soul winners in the house? The Bible declares, he that winneth souls is wise. He that goeth forth weeping, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. You've heard me share this numerous times. I pray the Lord will stir me at least once a year as a pastor to speak along this line with you. I need your imagination tonight. Just give me your mind. Take a little journey, a little trip with me. Go with me to the book of St. Luke, the 16th chapter of St. Luke. St. Luke, the 16th chapter and the 19th verse. There was a rich man in hell who, if in his previous life his money would have brought him everything. His money would have got him friends. His money would have brought him fame and fortune. But we find him later destitute in eternity without God. Let's read about it. St. Luke, the 19th verse of the 16th chapter. There was a rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and he fared sumptuously every day. He had a good life. He had a life of ease. Everybody wanted what he had and wanted to be like him. But there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died, was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. Now the path of our flesh, saved or unsaved, is often the same. This is what messes with people's mind that are carnal minded and don't understand the Bible. I'm 43 years old. You go out here at the end of the road and find a lost man, 43, and you stop his vehicle and ask him how he's doing. You'd be surprised how many things in our lives are similar. We both have real good days. We both get sick sometimes. Perhaps we both have extra money, and sometimes we're both wondering where the groceries are coming from. And if you look at the natural, you'll say, oh, it don't pay to serve God. But David said, I got to looking around and my feet almost slipped. Then I went to the house of God and I understood their end. Hallelujah. 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 You can't judge this thing by looking just by the natural. But you got to understand that life is short and life is fragile. But eternity's a mighty long time. I'd rather be the beggar full of sores, eating crumbs with the dogs, and go to heaven forever, than to be the rich man for 50 or 60, 70 years, hate God, hate the things of God, and be lost forever. I'd rather be in a deep, dark grave and know that my soul's saved than to live in this world in a house of gold and forget my God and lose my soul. I want my reward now. I want God to bless us and sustain us, fight for us, heal us when we're sick. But I want my reward around the throne in eternity. There was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at the gate full of sores, desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked the sores. It came to pass that the beggar died, was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. Anybody hear this? And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments. Could we stop there a moment? It's not just torment. It's torments. It's not just the flames of hell. I believe the greatest torments of hell is the absence of God. Because when you take God away, you take hope away. And you take God away, you take peace away. And you take God away, you take joy away. And you take God away, you take the meaning of life away. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It just wasn't one torment in hell. We preach a lot about the flames of hell. But could we think about the absence of God? One of the worst things I can imagine. Over 100 years ago, they asked Daniel Webster, sitting around the table with men of renown, what's the hardest question you face in your life? What's your hardest decision? He said, the thing that I ponder most on is least I fail to do what God requires of me. Hallelujah. Do you ever think about what God requires of you, or wants of you, or expects of you? The torments in hell is the heat. The torments in hell is the absence of friends. The torments in hell is the absence of love. The torments in hell is the absence of forgiveness. The absence of friendship. The absence of fellowship. The absence of family. And the absence of God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We weren't made to go to a burning hell. You were made to live for the Lord and serve the Lord and worship the Lord. These hands were made to worship Him. Your feet were made to walk in His footsteps. Your voice was created to give glory to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Somebody ought to scream hallelujah in the house. That's what hallelujah. Your voice was created to worship and bless and exalt and magnify the Lord. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me. One of the torments, there's no mercy in hell. And they're going to be begging for mercy. Please give me another chance. Please give me one more altar call. Give me one more opportunity to serve God. Please let that little preacher call me one more time. I'm begging somebody. I need to stop preaching a minute. We got some young Christians that ain't showed up in the service too. Don't let me be the only one that call them. You call them, because they won't get no phone calls in hell. They won't get no second chances in hell. You won't get no chance to knock on their door when they're in hell. You won't get a chance to send a note or a letter. You won't get a chance to lay on the floor and cry, God, get them back in church and give them another chance. And I feel the presence of the Lord here. Somebody slow down and make a phone call. Somebody slow down and knock on somebody's door. Somebody slow down and tell somebody. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me. And send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. For I am tormented in this flame. The lack of water is one of the torments in hell. My family worked most of the day up here yesterday, cleaning the Oasis building for camp meeting, and Toby come and helped us, and we worked way into the evenings cleaning the sanctuary and the flower garden. And I got so warm that a drop of water wouldn't affect me. In fact, I drank a bottle of water and it didn't help much, and I needed another one. Can you imagine it being so hot? One drop of water. Oh, if you could hear me tonight, you'd reach for the lost. You'd beg God, God, don't let my children, don't let my mom and daddy. Why don't somebody lift your hands and say, God, I want a burden